College football is back in our lives finally after 7 long months. The NFL has returned as the season kicked off this past Thursday and all 32 teams in action in week one. I will go over each game with my thoughts. And of course, we'll spend plenty of time right off the rip to go and bag on the New England Patriots. I can tell you that many of my fellow Pats fans have a bit of a sour taste in their mouths right now. Terranadome Wednesdays for the entire NFL season, and there it's back and it starts right now. Terranadome. Minnesota was doomed from the start. I mean, this was a ass whooping. There's nothing short of that. It was a complete ass whooping. But I will tell you what, my friend, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. And it is time to get them back in the AFC Championship game. I believe that, listen, you're right about Derrick Henry, especially in cold weather. No one's going to want to tackle that guy. So it's going to be imperative for the Buffalo Bills to jump out early in this game and get a lead and force Lamar Jackson to have to play from behind. If they can do that, they're going to win this game. Mention things that we love to hear, like we're getting the entitlement out of our team, and we're going to earn the opportunity to come into this building every day. I absolutely love that. One thing I will say for sure, yes, they definitely need to go and spend some friggin' money. They're going to have the most cap space in the league, and I'm going to kill them every week on this show until they spend money.
Known as fair and square throughout my years, so I growl at the living vow. Black to the bone, my home is your home.
Well, welcome to Terranadome. Terranadome, and it starts right now. And welcome back into the show, folks. Of course, my name is Scott Terrana. It's the Terranadome. We are coming at you on a Wednesday, September 10th. And I can tell you that moving forward, we will be doing the Terranadome every Wednesday during football season, folks. And we're going to get right into it here. You can see the jersey that I've got on. And we're going to get right into the New England Patriots here. Let me just reset my video real quick. And there we go. So, Patriots versus the Las Vegas Raiders, week one. Everybody expected the home team to come out, show up, and win that game. Nobody giving the Raiders a chance. Well, Vegas did because the Raiders were only a 2.5-point favorite. And as I've told you in the past, it's either 2 or 3 points that the home team is given automatically. So really, Vegas thought this one was a push. And guys, it was not all that close. The score is not indicative of how this game actually went. I thought that the Raiders controlled it most of the way. For example, this Patriots defense that a lot of people think is going to be top 10 or better. 362 passing yards allowed to Geno Smith for the second home opener in a row. Geno Smith torches your ass. A touchdown and interception. They sacked him 4 times. They did do a good job against the run, the Patriots defense, that is. Ashton Jeanty, the young man who set all the records in college football history for running backs. He played at Boise State. That's not the NFL, right? 19 carries for 38 yards. He did have a short 1-yard touchdown run. Brock Bowers, 5 catches. The superstar tight end for the Raiders, 5 catches on 8 targets, 103 yards. Jacoby Myers, welcome back, Jacoby Myers, 8 for 97 on 10 targets. And Trey Tucker had a reception touchdown. For the Raiders, I thought in this one the Patriots had very little pass rush. Despite the fact that they had the 4 sacks, not a lot of pass rush in this game. A couple of those 4 sacks were schemed up corner blitzes that managed to make it home. There were some others that didn't, and they got burned on them. Geno Smith's a smart quarterback. People don't give him credit for that. Very smart quarterback. Run defense, as I said, stout as expected. What I think the takeaway is from this game that everyone's concerned with is Drake May, right? Drake May did not look good in this game. In fairness to him, it's his 13th career pro start. He only played 30 games in college. He's still very young, very raw talent. But May definitely, to me at least, didn't look comfortable in Josh McDaniels' offense. He bailed after his first reads and often was not going through his progressions. He also was looking to bail out of the pocket very early, and he was running too quickly. He tends not to scan the entire field. Now, these are things that can still develop in like a 23-year-old quarterback. But he played tentatively in this game. Despite the 46 attempts, he overthrew a bunch of receivers. The interception was very bad, kind of almost really cost them a chance to win this game. Ramondre Stevenson getting stuffed on a 4th and 1 late also cost them a chance for points and to win this game. Pats fans, I do think better days are ahead. Hard not to be. In terms of accuracy, this is one of the two worst games I've seen out of Drake May as a pro. I want to say the Tennessee game last year was worse, but the kid is very smart. He's too talented not to figure it out. He's got a great arm. He makes some of the best throws that you'll ever see. At least last year, he made some that really stood out. I think everybody needs to remain calm here. I know it didn't look good. But a week 2 win down in Miami, which we know over the last 25 years is far from a sure thing, right? But, you know, we'll be in a much better state of mind collectively as a fan base, right? If they can win down in Miami, and we'll get to Miami in a little bit, but Miami was garbage. Even by comparison to what your team put out last Sunday, Miami was maybe the worst team in the league last Sunday. So, in the loss, Drake May, 30 out of 46, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns and interception, sacked 4 times. Stevenson and Travion Henderson, the new rookie that I think eventually is going to really splash for the Patriots, a second-round pick in the draft this year. They combined for 12 carries for 42 yards. That's not good enough. Obviously, a lot of teams had problems running the ball this weekend. 6 catches for 24 yards for Henderson. There were a lot of designed screenplays for him. And I think maybe old Tommy boy there, Tom Brady being the minority owner of the Raiders, might have given some coaching tips on what to expect from Josh McDaniels' offense, because it looked that way to me, especially on the design screens, because none of them worked, right? Kayshon Boutte is turning into a very good receiver in this league, quietly, I might add, but the kid has got real talent. 6 catches for 103 yards for him. Hunter Henry, 4 catches for 66. Stephon Diggs didn't make any big plays, but 7 targets, 6 catches, 57 yards is at least encouraging enough start for Diggs. And Demario Douglas had 2 catches for -2 yards, and yet had a touchdown reception from 1 yard out. Like I said, I like what I saw out of Boutte rocking everywhere. I found you, Miss New Kayshon Boutte. Had to do it, sorry. Diggs had 5 of his catches in the second half. So that's some encouraging stuff, at least. But what is not encouraging, and what's maybe got people upset and starting to panic already, and this won't be the last time I say this on this show today. You cannot extrapolate a whole lot from week 1 in the NFL, right? It's just teams have not had time to prepare, have not adequately, right? And I don't mean game plan wise. I just mean like going out on the field and executing these things. Practice is not the same thing as a real game is, and they don't play in the preseason at all anymore. Drake May played 4 series the entire preseason. I think he's going to be better than this. Give him a little bit of time. It's only his second year. Give him a little bit of time. Offensive line wasn't too bad in this game, really. I just think that May was bailing out early. And like I said, not going through progressions, not looking to his second and third reads, and just bailing out, right? You can't. Better days ahead, okay? But what bothered me is that they didn't look ready to go. Home opener, first game of the season, new coaching staff. They came out flat. Quite frankly, they came out flat. The Raiders had the better jump from the get-go in this game, and the Patriots really didn't catch up on that until the second half, where it kind of evened itself out a little bit. But Vegas was better prepared, and they executed far better, especially in the first half. That's on your coaching staff, and it is depth. That is a concern after week 1, right? Why were they not ready to go, and why were they not more hyped up? Because they should have been. It's your home opener, brand new head coach. Expectations are back for this team. And they kind of just came out too flat. So, Pats fans, maybe the Dolphins are as bad as they looked in week 1, maybe. And you can go down to Miami and steal one in Miami because you don't want to go to 0-2. Miami's also 0-1. They play at 1 o'clock next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, rather. And the Vegas Raiders will be hosting the LA Chargers, who looked really good in their game. They're 1-0. We'll talk about them in just a minute. Let's go back to Thursday night, the opener. NFL season opener. Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champions. First play of the game, kickoff return. Important guy for the Eagles goes down, shreds his knee. He's done for the year. While they're carting him off, Dak Prescott comes out of the huddle and spits at Jalen Carter. Who spit first? Dak did. Dak spit first. But the cameras and the initial broadcast feed only caught Jalen Carter retaliating and spitting back on Dak's jersey. Carter gets ejected immediately, and couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, right? A guy who got raced his friends driving drunk, and they got killed. So it couldn't happen to a better guy. Cowboys looked very good early in this game, especially the run game with Javonte Williams. They did look good. Drops by CeeDee Lamb in the second half ultimately did them in. Run game by Jalen Hurts, unanswered by the Cowboys throughout this game. It's almost like they were missing a key pass rusher, some all-pro type of player that could have made a difference going after the quarterback. No idea who that is, but it seemed like they were missing that guy. Dak Prescott, 21 out of 34, 188 yards, was not sacked in this game. I bet you if Carter was in this game, they would have sacked him at least a couple times. Javonte Williams, maybe back from the dead, leaves Denver, goes to Dallas, 15 carries, 54 yards. Two touchdowns for Javonte Williams. Hope you had him in your lineup. I doubt you did, though. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches for 110 on 13 targets. I believe he had 3 or 4 drops in this game. Not great. George Pickens' team debut, 3 catches for 30 on just 4 targets. And Jay Ferguson, 5 catches for 23 yards. On the other side, Jalen Hurts only had to throw it 23 times, completed 19 of them for only 152 yards, only sacked once, but 14 carries for 62 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley, just 60 yards on 18 carries. He had a touchdown, 4 catches for 24 yards as well. Dallas Goedert, 7 catches for 44. Devontae Smith, only 3 catches for 16. And A.J. Brown, 1 catch, 8 yards, 1 target. Hey, Philly, if you're not going to use an all-pro wide receiver, we'll take him over here in New England. Just saying. Maybe you should throw A.J. Brown the damn ball. Neither quarterback had a touchdown pass. 24-20, Eagles win. Next up for Philly, they will be at Kansas City in a Super Bowl rematch. The Chiefs, as you're about to find out, are 0-1. And the Dallas Cowboys will be home to face the New York air out of the football Giants at 1 o'clock on Sunday. I believe that's a 1 o'clock game. I'll let you know later. Now we move to Friday night. Now we're doing a Friday night in Brazil to open the season every year now, I guess. That's got to be miserable for the players. I got to be honest with you. Friday night on YouTube. YouTube streamed this game. Apparently the broadcast not very good, but what do I know? I was at the casino, didn't watch it. I'm glad I didn't. I like the Chargers. I've always kind of liked the Chargers. Can't stand the damn Chiefs. So you never want to laugh at somebody getting hurt, but Kansas City wide receiver Xavier Worthy taken out early in the first quarter on a crossing pattern where his teammate Travis Kelce bulldozed him over, ran right into him. Worthy did not return as considered week to week with a separated shoulder. Chargers never trailed in this game. No turnovers by either team. Patrick Mahomes in a losing effort. Kansas City 21, Chargers 27. Patrick Mahomes, 24 out of 39, 258 yards, a touchdown. He also ran it 6 times for 57 more. He trucked somebody on the sidelines. Someone's going to do something about Mahomes and his antics. He was sacked twice. Running game for Kansas City, the 2 running backs, Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, just 10 carries for 41 yards. So many bad rushing lines this week. Hollywood Brown stepping up in place of Worthy. 10 catches out of the slot for him for 99 yards. He was targeted a whopping 16 times. I do believe that was the most in the league for week 1. Travis Kelce, just 2 catches for 47, but of course he had a touchdown. Again, people very upset with the quality of the broadcast. Chargers in the winning effort. Justin Herbert, 25 of 34 for 318. 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times, 7 carries for 32 yards. Newcomer, rookie running back Omari and Hampton, just 15 carries for 48. Receiving for the Chargers, they might if in year 3 or I think this is year 3 for Quentin Johnston, if he can get going, his 3rd year jumps and breakouts happen all the time, especially in the NFL. If he can get going, they've got a trio of really good receivers here in the Chargers roster. I'm never going to call them the LA Chargers or the San Diego Superchargers. Always and forever. Quentin Johnston, 5 catches for 79 yards, 2 touchdowns on 7 targets. Ladidza McConkey is back, 6 catches for 74. And Keenan Allen returning to San Diego. I mean, the Chargers, after a year away, 7 catches for 68 yards, and he had a touchdown himself on 10 targets. Not bad for the old guy. Next up, Kansas City, I said, is hosting Philadelphia, who's 1-0, and the Chargers are at the Las Vegas Raiders at 4:05 on Sunday. and they are 1-0 as well. Now, on to Sunday. I know we went Sunday. We always do Patriots first on the Terranadome. We always do the Pats first. By the way, Drake May's ceiling, if in case you're wondering, guys, this is where I'm at. This is his ceiling with much more athleticism. So don't give up on the kid after 14 or 13 starts. Don't do that. It's silly. Nate, who doesn't listen to the show, who doesn't watch the show anymore, looking at you, pal. Going to Sunday now. We've got the 3 down and 13 to go. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay wins this one 23-20. Baker Mayfield throws 3 touchdown passes, gets 2 of them to rookie Emeka Egbuka, who's going to be really good in this league. 4 for 67 and 2 touchdown passes for the rookie. Bucky Irving only managed 14 carries for 37 yards on the ground, only 8 yards receiving on 4 catches, but one of them was a touchdown. Mike Evans just 5 catches for 51. On the other side for the Falcons, Michael Penix Jr., 27 out of 42 for 298 and a touchdown. He also added a rushing touchdown. Bijan Robinson, just 12 for 24 yards on the ground, but did have 6 catches for 100 yards and a 50-yard touchdown catch early on in this game, very early on. Drake London calling, 8 catches for 55 yards and 15 targets for London, which was second most in the league. Kyle Pitts, 7 catches for 59. Maybe he turns into something in year 4. I don't know. Could happen, I guess. Neither team had a pass rush, but both shut down the run. Rookie wide receiver Ekbuka's second catch of the game sealed the win for Tampa Bay with just 59 seconds left in the game after Atlanta went up 20-17 on Penix's TD run with 2:17 to go. So an eventful fourth quarter there. Said it on last week's preview show. I'm going to say it again. Penix can play. There's going to be a lot of Penix jokes in the coming weeks, okay? Next up for Tampa Bay, they travel to Houston, who are 0-1, as you'll find out later. It's 7 o'clock on Monday night football. There are 2 Monday night games, I think, next week. I don't know why I didn't mention that, but I'm pretty sure there's two Monday night games next week, which is completely ridiculous. I think they're doing that even-numbered weeks, 2, 4, 6, and 8, which is ridiculous. It's too much, but we talked about that early on the show last week. And the Atlanta Falcons, they will be traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, and they will play on Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. Sunday. Now, the Miami Dolphins travel to Indianapolis, and I told you last week on the preview show the Indianapolis Colts are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I also told you that the Dolphins were going to suck as well. I have them at 6-11, and Mike McDaniel being the first head coach fired in the league this season. One of those 2 things are still tracking after this game, and it's Miami losing 33-8, okay? And they trailed 30-0 before Devon Achane's 4th down TD catch from 11 yards out with 6:21 to play, and he had to bowl over 2 people to get into the end zone. Other than that, Miami should have been shut out. Only 1 game, but Dolphins prediction looking pretty good. Tua, not so good. 14 out of 23 in the loss. Only 114 yards. He did throw a touchdown to Achane. 2 INTs, and he lost a fumble. And backup Zach Wilson played in the fourth quarter. You guys remember Zach Wilson, right? Devon Achane, just 7 carries, 55 yards, 3 for 20 and a touchdown receiving. Tyreek Hill, just 4 catches for 40, and Jalen Waddle, 4 for 30 yards. In the win, Danny Dimes having one of the best games of his career. Danny Dimes taking over in Indianapolis for the great Anthony Richardson. Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, 22 out of 29, 272 yards, a touchdown. Added 7 rushes for 26 yards and two rushing touchdowns for the quarterback. Jonathan Taylor, just 18 carries, but only for 71 yards, 3 catches for 27. Michael Pittman, 6 catches for 80 yards and the touchdown. And Tyler Warren, the first-round rookie tight end, 7 catches for 76 yards in his professional debut. There's no way the Colts are this good, but Miami might not be much better than this. Next week, Miami hosts New England. Both teams 0-1, as I mentioned earlier. That's a 1 o'clock kick on Sunday. And the Indianapolis Colts will host the Denver Broncos Sunday, 4:05 p.m. This game kicks off a stretch that I am going to go over of some very bad football. So we're going to try to fly through it as fast as we can. Carolina Panthers at Jacksonville Jaguars. Carolina 10, Jacksonville 26. Bryce Young reverted back to his old ways, 18 out of 35, 154 yards. A touchdown and an interception. He added 40 on the ground. Chuba Hubbard, 16 carries, just 57 yards, 3 for 32, and a touchdown receiving. Ted McMillan, 8th pick in the draft this year for Carolina. He's going to be a good one, too. 5 catches for 68 yards on 9 targets. Meanwhile, on the other side, Trevor Lawrence didn't blow anyone away, as usual. 19 out of 31, 178 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Travis Etienne with the second best rushing day in the league this week. 16 carries for 143 yards, a long of 71. No touchdowns for Etienne, though. Travis Hunter, second overall pick in the draft. A couple high picks in this one. Travis Hunter, the rookie phenom that can play both deep corner and wide receiver. 6 catches for 33 yards for Hunter. And Brian Thomas Jr., the breakout rookie from last year for Jacksonville, just 1 catch for 11 yards on 7 targets. Carolina didn't look ready to go. Jacksonville didn't need to do too much. Not exactly a statement win. Next, Jacksonville is at Cincinnati. They play at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and Carolina will travel to Arizona to play the Cardinals at 4:05 on Sunday. There's another crap game. New York Giants at Washington Commanders. Washington 21, New York 6. Jaden Daniels to the Zach Ertz got it going early. 7 minutes left in the first quarter, up 7-0. How much more of the Russell Wilson experience does the league need at this point? Had to throw that in there before I get to his line. Daniels, 19 out of 33, 230 yards, a touchdown, an 11 for 68 on the ground. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, this fantasy darling, the rookie wide receiver, the rookie running back in drafts. People loving Bill Krosky-Merritt. This friggin' catch is constantly piss and shit. That's all they do. It's so ridiculous. And the other one throws up all the time, too. Just threw up before I started recording. Great cat. Love him. Krosky-Merritt, 10 carries for 82 yards and a score in this one. I believe he also had a 44-yard run out of those 82 yards. Deebo Samuel back from the dead, baby. 7 catches for 77 yards for Washington on 10 targets. Also had 1 carry, and it was a 19-yard touchdown run, so good for Deebo. Zach Ertz, 3 for 26, and the aforementioned touchdown. Terry McLaurin, who missed most of camp and most of the preseason with the contract dispute, just 2 catches for 27. The Russell Wilson experience, 17 out of 37 for 168 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. He was sacked twice and ran it 8 times for 44 more yards. Tyrone Tracy, 10 carries for 24 yards for the Giants. Malik Neighbors, 5 for 77 yards receiving. And Wan'Dale Robinson, for one of the 3 games he'll be healthy for this year, 6 catches for 55 yards for Wandale. Or is it Wan'Dale? I never know. I like to say Wandale better, though. I put these last 3 in a row for this reason. It's bad football. The product around the league is over the last several week ones is not good enough. It's been this way for years now. I've complained about it on this show before. The Giants didn't look much different than they did last year in this one. So how long before the Darty party begins in the Meadowlands? How long before they turn the keys over to Jackson Dart? I give it the same amount of time that it took for the Patriots to hand it over to Drake May last year. Week 5, Jackson Dart's starting quarterback. Jackson Dart, starting quarterback. Oh, now they're fighting each other and chasing each other around and hissing. And this is where I want to kill them. But don't tell Peter that. I'm not actually going to do it. But my God, does it get annoying. Why did I get the second one? I'll never know. Right. Next, for the Giants, they will travel to Dallas, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Dallas, as I've already mentioned, is 0-1, and Washington will travel to Lambeau Field and take on the Green Bay Packers, and they'll do it tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. I think that's actually going to be one of the better Thursday night games of the year. I like the Packers by like a field goal. It's going to be a good game on Thursday night. I'm not going to do a full preview on a recap show, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay, here we go. Battle for Ohio. Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati 17, Cleveland 16. Cincinnati not ready to go for the second straight year on week 1. They managed to beat a terrible Cleveland team anyway. Joe Burrow just 14 to 23 for 113 yards and a touchdown. Chase Brown, 21 carries, only 43 yards and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, only 2 catches for 26. T. Higgins, only 3 catches for 33. Noah Fant caught Burrow's lone touchdown pass. In the loss, my man, Joe Flacco, the man, Joe Flacco, 31 out of 45 for 290 yards. Did throw a touchdown, also threw 2 interceptions. That's what you get with Flacco, pretty much. Dylan Sampson. Yep, hold on a minute. Yeah, so anyway, Dylan Sampson, the running back for Cleveland, not the running back that they wanted starting week 1, but their 4th-round pick. He has 12 carries for 29 yards, but adds 8 catches for 64 yards, so he'll likely have a role in that offense going forward. Jerry Jeudy, 5 catches for 66. Cedric Tillman Jr., 5 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown. David Njoku, the starting tight end, just 3 catches for 37. But maybe more versatile rookie 3rd-round tight end, Harold Fannin, 7 catches for 63 yards and 9 targets. So clearly he's involved. The Njoku people might want to bail and go get Fannin if they still can, but I know he was claimed in every single league that I'm in where I didn't already have him. Browns wide receiver Tillman with a 5-yard touchdown catch to put Cleveland up 16-14. In typical Browns fashion, their rookie kicker misses the extra point. Bengals get a field goal 5 minutes later with 2:48 left in the 3rd, and that was the difference between a tie game and the Browns losing. Next up, Cincinnati takes on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, as we already mentioned, are 1-0. That is on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And Cleveland will travel to Baltimore for a 1 o'clock game as well. Take Baltimore in your survivor pools if you want to this week, folks. I really think it's between them and the San Francisco 49ers in week 2 as your best picks. But that's only if Brock Purdy plays, and we'll get to that way later. But right now, the reason I say that to pick San Francisco is because they're playing the New Orleans Saints, who lost to Arizona this weekend, 20-13. More ugly football. 5 recaps in a row now. Bad football. Saints expect to be the worst team in the league, according to me. But they actually had this game tied until 28 seconds left in the first half, and Kyler Murray found James Conner for a score from 4 yards out. Both teams would only muster a field goal each in the second half. Saints' lone touchdown was an 18-yard run by Alvin Kamara. And Kamara only 11 carries for 45 yards on the day, but he did have that 18-yard touchdown run. Spencer Rattler, not cut out for the league, 27 out of 46, no touchdowns or interceptions. Chris Olave, 7 catches for 54 yards. And Juwan Johnson, the tight end, maybe he's turned into something in year 3 here. 8 catches for 76. Rashid Shaheed, 6 carries, 6 catches for 33 yards. Kyler Murray in the win, 21 out of 29 for 163 yards, a bunch of dinking and dunking, 2 touchdowns, 7 carries for 38 yards. Rushing, Trey Benson, 8 carries for 69 yards with a 52-yarder in there. And James Conner, just 12 carries for only 39 yards, 4 catches for 5 yards and a touchdown receiving. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown for the Cardinals. And Trey McBride added 6 catches for 61 of his own. Next, Arizona will host Carolina. We already mentioned they're 0-1. That'll be at 4:05 on Sunday. New Orleans hosts San Francisco at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Next up, we have a rare appearance of actual good football. It's the Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields revenge game. We all thought that they would score 66 combined points in that game, right? Steelers barely hang on and win it 34-32. The Jets led 26-17 going into the 4th quarter, and then they did Jets things, and this was the result. Rodgers, turns out he's still got it. 22 out of 30 for 244 and 4 touchdowns for Rodgers. Steelers running backs combined for 19 carries for 54 yards. And the rookie only had 1 carry, Caleb Johnson. That's it. 1 carry for -1 yard for Caleb Johnson. DK Metcalf, 4 catches for 83 yards. Calvin Austin, 4 catches for 70 and a touchdown. Jalen Warren, 2 catches for 22 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 5 for 15 and a touchdown. And the backup tight end, Ben Skowronek, 1 catch, 22-yard touchdown. On the other side, Justin Fields, 16 out of 22, 218 yards and a touchdown pass. He also added 48 yards and 2 more scores on the ground. Breece Hall, 19 carries for 107 yards and 2 catches for 38. He had a touchdown vultured by Braylon Allen, who only had 9 yards on 6 carries, but one of those carries was an 8-yard touchdown run. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown on 9 targets. No other Jets receiver besides Wilson had more than 2 catches or 20 yards receiving. Fields' rushing touchdown put the Jets up 32-31 with 7 minutes to go, but the 2-point try failed. Chris Boswell's 60-yard field goal for Pittsburgh with 1:03 left gave them the win. Fields got it back but Garrett Wilson failed to haul in a fourth down pass to keep the Jets alive. It was knocked free by none other than former Miami Dolphin Jalen Ramsey. Next up for the Pittsburgh Steelers will be the Seattle Seahawks at home, 1 o'clock on Sunday. And the New York Jets will host the Buffalo Bills at 1 o'clock on Sunday as well. Now, to the 4 o'clock window, we've got some more crap football to talk about, and quite a bit of it too, folks. Tennessee Titans at Denver Broncos. Denver 20, Tennessee 12. No touchdowns for the Titans. Joey Sly was 4-4 on field goals. That's former Patriots kicker Joey Sly. Only 133 yards of offense. 133 yards. Denver has a top-tier defense this season, but 100. Not sure what happened there, but it just booted me out, and now I'm back. So I don't know if you caught this last part. So let me try again. No touchdowns for the Titans. Joey Sly 4-4 on field goals with only 133 yards of offense. Denver definitely has a top-tier defense this season, but 133 yards of offense is freaking pathetic, Titans. Pathetic. Tennessee also had an embarrassing 13 penalties for 131 yards. In other words, 2 less penalty yards than total yards of offense for the Titans. What in the F happened here? Tennessee also went 2 for 14 on third downs. That's one of the worst offensive performances in the Super Bowl era of all times. All time, all around. Cam Ward in his debut, the number 1 overall pick, 12 out of 28 for 112 yards. He was sacked 6 times. Not speed of the game must have got to him. Veteran head coach with a really good defense for the Denver Broncos. Tony Pollard, 18 carries for 60 yards. He added a 29-yard reception. Calvin Ridley, 4 catches for 27 yards. No other Titan had more than 3 receptions. On the other side, Bo Nix, 25 out of 40, 176 yards. A touchdown and 2 interceptions for Nix. 18 yards on the ground, sacked once. J.K. Dobbins signed in the offseason to pair with new rookie running back R.J. Harvey. Well, he outcarried him by 10. Dobbins, 16 carries for 63 yards and a score. R.J. Harvey, the rookie, just 6 carries for 70 yards, but he did have a 50-yarder down the sideline. That was exciting. 19-yard touchdown runs by Dobbins sealed Denver's win with 7:37 to go. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches for 61 yards, and Bo Nix's lone touchdown pass in the win. Next, we have Denver traveling to Indianapolis on Sunday. That is a 4:05 game, which seems odd to me, but apparently it is. And Tennessee will host the LA Rams on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Speaking of those LA Rams, more crap football. They hosted the Houston Texans. Rams win 14-9. A tough watch around the NFL on Sunday. No touchdowns for the Texans. Fairbairn 3 out of 3 for field goals. They did have 11 penalties, and they were only 2 for 9 on third downs. Those are all recipes for losing. No scoring at all in this game for the final 27 minutes and 27 seconds, actually. Wow. Great stuff, NFL. Yeah, you want to make it an 18-game season. Great idea. To C.J. Stroud, neither of the Texans' 2 turnovers led to points by the Rams, by the way. C.J. Stroud, 19 out of 27 in the loss for 188 yards and an interception. He was sacked 3 times and carried it 5 times for 32 yards. Nick Chubb, 13 carries for 60 yards. No Texans pass catcher had more than 4 catches or 28 yards receiving. Matthew Stafford, 21 out of 29, 245 yards, a touchdown. He was sacked 3 times. Ask Kyron Williams, 18 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Puka Nakua's 10 catches for 130. Devontae Adams, 4 catches for 51. Future Hall of Famer Matthew Stafford can still sling it around. An obvious trend moving forward for this Rams team, really tied to their success. 19 out of his 29 attempts went to either Nakua or Adams, and as long as they're both healthy, that will continue. Having 2 number 1 wide receiver equivalent players is always a weapon. Rams travel to Tennessee, as we just mentioned, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Houston will host Tampa Bay, who's 1-0 on Monday at 7 o'clock. Oh, you thought we were done with the crap football. You'd be wrong. We've got one more for you. It's the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks in the debut of Big D, Little Wee, Sam Darnold in a Seattle uniform. It should have been a better day for the 49ers in this game. They had 384 total yards, but 2 Brock Purdy INTs and 2 missed field goals from Jake Moody. Stop me for that before, Niners fans. That cost them points and almost the win itself. By the way, Moody was cut the following day, to which Josh Morris was elated. The Seattle offense looked borderline anemic with Big D Sam Darnold in his first game with the Seahawks, but not nearly as bad as the Tennessee Titans. Brock Purdy, 26 out of 35, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Not exactly MVP numbers, but apparently sustained a shoulder and toe injury in this game. Not sure what his status is yet for this week upcoming. Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries for only 69 yards on the ground, but did have 9 catches for 73 yards through the air. The calf is fine this time, apparently, because it would not have let him touch the ball 31 times if it wasn't. Ricky Pearsall did not get shot in the offseason this time. 4 catches for 108 yards for him. George Kittle and Jake Tungs, both tight ends, had a touchdown catch for the 49ers. Kittle left this game with a hamstring injury. He's expected to miss 3 to 5 weeks. Josh Morris, once again, correct on the 49ers. A valid point. Their strength and conditioning staff is got to be the worst in the league because this stuff is happening way too often with their guys. Soft tissue injuries are kind of inexcusable in a point that requires, in a sport that requires a lot of running. Sam Darnold, 16 out of 23 in the loss, only 150 yards, lost a fumble, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Zach Charbonnet, 12 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Kenny Walker, just 10 carries for 20 yards. I expect Charbonnet to take Walker's starting job, because I'm not sure if they're not already in a timeshare, but starting job, I'd say by week 8. I might even go as soon as week 6. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 9 catches for 124 yards on 13 targets. No other Seattle player had more than 15 yards receiving, and that was Cooper Kupp, who only had 2 catches for 15 yards in his Seattle debut. I definitely think better days are ahead for the Seattle offense. There's enough talent to go around there. San Francisco, as we mentioned, will travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. They're 0-1 Sunday, 1 o'clock. If Brock Purdy plays, that's your survivor pick this week, guys. And Seattle will go to Pittsburgh for a 1 o'clock game on Sunday as well. As we mentioned, the Steelers are 1-0. We keep it moving, folks. 3 games left to go. 425 game of the week on Fox this week was the Green Bay Packers against the Detroit Lions. And Green Bay wins this one 27-13. 27-13, the Packers beat the Lions. Green Bay actually dominates this game. It was 27-6 until Isaac Tesla, that's a name to remember, you fantasy people. I obviously already know. Made a beautiful one-handed touchdown catch, went way up in the air to get that thing in the corner of the end zone. It was with under a minute to go to cut it to 27-13. Go grab Tesla with an extra A. Isaac Tesla. Go get him if he's available in your league. Very talented. Soon to be their number 3 wide receiver, if he's not already. And if Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jameson Williams goes down, he's going to be a force. PPR, force. Isaac Tesla, go get him. I know the box score doesn't necessarily reflect it, but Green Bay put up 27 points in only 24 minutes and 35 seconds time of possession. That's pretty good. Packers offensive line might be a force because Jordan Love was not sacked at all in this game. Love just 16 out of 22 for 188 yards, did throw 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 19 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown run of his own. Jaden Reed, 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. And Tucker Kerncraft, 3,000. Or is it Kerncraft 4,000? I forget. Zombie Nation. 15-yard touchdown reception for Kraft. Jared Goff, 31 out of 39 in the game, but only for 225 yards, a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 4 times. The running game could not get going for the Lions in this one. Stout effort by the Packers. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, 20 carries for 44 yards combined. Gibbs did have 10 catches but only for 31 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, 4 catches for 45 yards. Sam Laporta, 6 catches for 79 yards. Jameson Williams, 4 catches for 23 yards. He did sign a 3-year contract extension worth up to $93 million before this game. But the Lions' turnover in the coaching staff may take some time to adjust to. The Packers should be legit. Their rookie wide receiver, Matthew Golden, hasn't even begun to make the big impact that I'm pretty sure he's going to make sooner than later. Green Bay, as we mentioned earlier, hosts Washington in what should be a great game on Thursday night. And Detroit will host the Chicago Bears at 1 o'clock at home on Sunday. Instant classic. Sunday Night Football. 2 games left to go. Instant classic. A little bit more summarization in this one, but it's Baltimore at Buffalo. And this game looked like it was going to be the Ravens, right? It looked like the Ravens had this one in the bag with 4 minutes to go, but it's starting to become a par for the course for the Ravens in big games. Get a big lead and then blow it, especially in big games. Ravens were up 34-19, 34-19 to begin the fourth quarter, and they were up 40-25 with only 4 minutes left in regulation. Ravens went up 40-25 on a 46-yard touchdown run by Derrick Henry with 11:42 to go. So you're up by 15. But instead of going for 2 and trying to make it a 3-possession game, you go for the extra point, and your weenie rookie kicker misses it. So now you're only up by 15. Good shake for Buffalo there, especially with there's still 12 minutes to go in the game. After that score and drive, the Bills drove it 48 yards but had to punt. Next Ravens drive is a 3-and-out with a false start added in. Bills now have it back with 7:16 to go in regulation. Next Bills possession is all Josh Allen. Buffalo abandons the run, and Allen proceeds to go 6 for 10 for 66 yards and a 10-yard touchdown strike to Keon Coleman with 3:56 to go. Coleman had 3 catches on this drive and drew a critical defensive pass interference call on a 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Extra point good. Still 40-32 Buffalo. Ravens get it back and run it twice. A 13-yard design run by Lamar Jackson, and Derrick Henry, who was unstoppable in this game, fumbles. Stuffed at the line and fumbles. It's recovered by Buffalo at Baltimore's 30-yard line. A complete gift and a total nightmare scenario for the Ravens. 3:06 to go. Bills have it back. First play, it's Allen connecting with Jackson Hawes. Hawes, Hawes, a rookie tight end, was 3rd on the depth chart for 29 yards down to the 1. 3 plays later, Allen bulldozes his way in on the sneak. It's 40-38. But the 2-point pass play fails for Buffalo. So Baltimore's up by 2 with the ball with 1:58 to go. We've seen this scenario play out a million times before. Baltimore runs it twice. Bills burn both timeouts as they hold the Ravens to 1 yard. 3rd and 9. Lamar Jackson does complete a pass to Zay Flowers for 6. Buffalo burns its final timeout. They force a punt with 1:33 left. 1 minute and 33 seconds is a lot of time for Josh Allen against a Ravens defense that suddenly can't stop a nosebleed, right? And once again, the reigning MVP of the NFL puts the team on his shoulders. The final drive goes, complete to Khalil Shakir for 6 and 8 yards. First down, Allen scrambles for 5. Then a false start makes it 2nd and 10. Next play is a 32-yard strike down the left sideline to Josh Palmer. Then it's another big play, a 25-yarder up the seam to Keon Coleman, getting it down to the Baltimore 9-yard line. Allen downs the ball 3 times, costing Baltimore to burn their timeouts and cost Josh Morris a winning bet. Matt Prater comes in. 32-yard field goal is about this close to being blocked completely. Only a finger gets on the ball. Kick is good. Buffalo escapes 41-40. How do you lose that game if you're Baltimore? I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do it. With 4 minutes left, I don't know how you do it. But they did. They managed to do it. So, the MVP of the league puts in the best quarterbacking performance of week 1. 33 out of 46, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air for Josh Allen. 14 more carries for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. James Cook, 13 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. 5 catches for 58 yards receiving. Keon Coleman breakout game, folks. Second-year wide receiver out of BC. Could still be a good one. 8 catches, 112 yards and a touchdown on 11 targets. Khalil Shakir, 6 catches for 64 yards. Josh Palmer, 5 catches for 61. And Dalton Kincaid, third-year tight end, 4 catches, 48 yards, and a score for him. On the other side, Lamar Jackson, 14 out of 19 for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. He added 6 carries for 70 yards and scored as well from the ground. Derrick Henry was unstoppable until that fumble, folks. 18 carries for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers broke out in this game, too. 7 catches for career-high 143 yards receiving for Zay, another BC product. And a touchdown for him as well. And DeAndre Hopkins on his 3rd team in less than 3 years. 2 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown for D-Hop. Next up, Buffalo will go to the Meadowlands to face the 0-1 Jets at 1 o'clock. And Baltimore will host Cleveland, also 0-1 and also at 1 o'clock. Just one more game left in week 1, folks. Thank you for sticking with me. Of course, I'm Scott Terrana. It's the Terranadome here on a Wednesday. Monday Night Football, Minnesota at Chicago. Thanks to Minnesota coming back in this one, and I got my tiebreaker right on the nose at 51 points in this game. I won my pool this week, so thank you, Minnesota. Appreciate that. They looked dead in the water for the majority of the game. A 74-yard pick six thrown by J.J. McCarthy had them down 17-6 just 2 minutes into the third quarter. In the fourth, however, McCarthy showed everyone why the Vikings traded up to draft him 10th overall in the 2024 draft. Remember, he missed all last season. This is his first career start. He went 6 for 8 for 87 yards with 2 touchdown passes and ran for a third on a 14-yarder, all in the fourth quarter. Vikings went from trailing 17-6 heading into the fourth to leading 27-17 with 2:53 to play. Caleb Williams only went 2 of 6 on the final drive for the Bears, but 2 defensive penalties, including a roughing the passer, got the Bears down to the 14-yard line. Williams would then scramble down to the 1, originally ruled a touchdown but overturned, and then he would throw a 1-yard touchdown pass to Rome Odunze. With the extra point, it made it 27-24. Minnesota bled it down to 16 seconds left and punted on their ensuing drive. Bears could do nothing with those 16 seconds. Epic comeback for Minnesota in McCarthy's first career regular season game. McCarthy, 13 out of 20 in this one for 145, 2 touchdowns and an interception. He had 25 yards on the ground with a rushing touchdown. Meanwhile, Jordan Mason, newcomer, former 49er, newcomer to the Vikings. He had 15 carries for 68 yards. Meanwhile, incumbent who ran for 1,100 yards last year, Aaron Jones, had just 8 carries for 23 yards. He did add 44 yards and a touchdown receiving. Justin Jefferson had just 4 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown as well. And Adam Thielen in his first game back with Minnesota, no catches on 1 target. The Chicago Bears had 12 penalties for 127 yards in this game. That doesn't help anything. Caleb Williams, 21 catches, 21 out of 35 for 210 yards, a touchdown, 6 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 17 carries for 53 mediocre yards. DJ Moore, 3 catches for 68 yards, and he lost the fumble. Rome Odunze, 6 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown. And Zacchaeus, 4 catches for 42 yards. Next, Minnesota will host Atlanta. We're pretty much at the end here, folks. Minnesota will host Atlanta on Sunday Night Football. Atlanta's 0-1. And Chicago and Detroit in a battle of 0-1 teams on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Just a couple of quick notes from this week 1 action, folks. It will get better from here, okay? The football product will improve, I promise you. But I hope you bet the unders. Because 11 out of 16 games did go under. And 9 out of the 16 games produced under 40 points combined by the 2 teams. That's bad, crap football. That's not good defense. That's crap football. But don't worry, it'll get better. Josh Morris is back on the show next week. So be sure to check it out. Thank you, as always, guys. The likes, the support, the comments, and all the, everybody that watches out there. Much appreciated. I thank you all so much. Tell somebody you love them today, because tomorrow is not promised, people, and I promise you that is the truth. We will see you back here next Wednesday for an all-new Terranadome with Josh Morris. Peace.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is a prestigious way.